Okay, so in today's session, we will be concerned once again with medical practitioners. But apart from that, we will talk about some more kinds of practitioners from different fields. And the sessions which we are going to cover today are 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so all the four sessions will be covered very quickly. I will try to explain you the roots, suffixes, prefixes, and the concepts, and then you will have to go for the exercises. Okay, so now we will, as you will see, that we will slowly drift away from these medical terminologies. Okay. Okay, so once again in your uh, new sessions you have this root, and few more words are explained based on this root. So the root is ped, which means feet, and last time people had some confusions also, like one was pedos, that means child, and ped is feet. Okay, so from the context we will get to know whether it is feet or it is child. Okay, so many animals are there. Based on the number of legs or limbs they have, we have classified them. So biped will have 2 legs, quadruped will have 4 legs, and you know a word which is there, octopus. So octopus will have 8 limbs, and there is a word centipede also. Okay, so centi means 100. Now an insect like this is called centipede because it is believed that it has 100 feet. Okay, it doesn't actually have 100 feet, but we call it its centipede. Okay, an insect like this, which is also commonly seen in rainy seasons that we have these days. Okay, another word is also given in your book, platypus. Okay, pus means against feet, and one root is here, platy. Okay, this is important, root platy. So platy simply means flat. Okay, so wherever you get this word or root in your word, you must immediately recognize that it has to do something with flat. Okay, and it cognates also, both the sounds are similar, flat and plat. Okay, so once again, what is platypus? It is just a creature which has flat limbs. If you see here, it has a flat nose, flat hands or legs or limbs. So that is why this creature is called platypus. It's a marine creature found in water bodies. Okay, platypus. And platy will come in many other words also. So let me just explain you few of them. Okay, I haven't written here, but let me write it. In fact, one word is there, Plato. All of you must have heard about this great philosopher from the ancient Greece. Now Plato's name, actual name was something else. Okay, something like Aristocles or Aristocles. But why do we call him Plato? Because he had a very flat shoulders. Okay, so like it's his face, and his shoulder or its width was very broad or very wide. Okay, बहुत चौड़ा उसका सीना था. That is why he was called Plato. Okay, there is another word which is called plateau. Okay, please check the spelling also. So plateau is let me explain you with the help of a graph. Okay, let's say something is increasing at a rate. Okay, it's rising and rising, and then all of a sudden there is a flat curve. Okay, it stops. Then also once again it might raise, but this particular portion is called plateau. Okay, so we say there is plateau in the growth. Okay, so when the growth actually stops, that portion is called, or that stoppage is called plateau. So it can happen in learning also. Sometimes when we learn something, in the beginning we learn at a great speed, but then comes a time where things become fixed or things become stagnated, and then once again after a point we start getting momentum. Okay, so like language learning also this happens, plateau. Okay, or any kind of graph is there, something is rising. You can take the example of our, whatever crisis we are facing, COVID-19 cases. Something can be like this also. In the beginning it can rise, then there can be a flat, and then there can be once again a rise or fall. Okay, plateau is a flat movement, that is also there. Okay, some more words are there which you need to know. One important word is podium. Okay, so whenever conferences are there, people are asked to come on the podium. Okay, so that stage is called podium. Now why it is called podium? Because we keep our feet on that platform. Okay, another synonym for podium is dais. Okay, so we invite the speakers to come on the dais and say something. Okay, so podium is also an important word which comes from the same root. Okay, now two important words are there which are synonyms, but this one is an old word and this is used now. Podiatrist is new one, and chiropodist is an obsolete word which is no longer used. Okay, so podiatrist is a doctor of feet. Okay, as you can see here, this doctor is treating the problems in your feet. Okay, and the old name for this podiatrist was chiropodist. Okay, so in fact chiro means hand also, and podist means, or pod means, feet. So in the beginning, those who were the doctors concerned with hand and feet both, they were called chiropodist. Okay, but later on its meaning changed, and today when we talk about podiatrist, then they are feet specialist. Okay, so keep that distinction also in mind. So chiropodist is an old name, no longer used or very rarely used. Okay, we go ahead. Another very important root is chiro. Okay, and chiro means hand, and you have so many words in English from chiro. As you see, chiropodist was there. Okay, now one type of healer or doctor is chiropractor. Okay, so chiro here means hand. Okay, and practo or practical or practor means the one who engages in some kind of practice. Okay, so chiropractor is doing his practice with his hands. That is the meaning of, or literal meaning of this word. And now this person which you can see on your screen is a chiropractor. Okay, so he is a doctor in a special way. Probably he doesn't give you medicines or injections, but if you have any problem, let's say in your muscles or bones, he will just twist it. Okay, with the help of his hands, he will twist it in a certain way, and you will find that you get relief very easily. Okay, just with the help of twisting you get the relief. Okay, so in sports you also have chiropractors who immediately help you if you have any kind of muscular strain or problem. So these people are called chiropractor. Okay, now chirology word might also you come across. So chiro is hand, logy is study. So chirology simply means study of hand. Okay, or its anatomy or structure. Okay, now another famous word is this, popular, quite popular, chiromancy. Okay, so here chiro, two roots are there, root 1, and mancy is root 2. Okay, so chiro is hand and mancy is to tell the future. Okay, mancy is to tell the future, and in fact mancy also comes from another important root or a smaller root which is men or man, and men means to think, simply to think. Okay, so this once again corresponds with our Sanskrit or Hindi word which is called man. Okay, man is that which is doing some kind of manan, okay, or thinking. Okay, so keep this also in mind. This will help you in remembering this word. Coming back to this chiromancy, ये है क्या? So chiromancy, as you can guess from the roots which it contains, chiro is hand and mancy is prediction. So when you look at the hand and tell the future of somebody, that process or that science is called chiromancy. इसका famous नाम जो अभी लोगों को पता है, that is called palmistry. Okay, so telling the future by looking at your palm. But the ancient, archaic or more fashionable name for palmistry is chiromancy. Okay, and the person who will engage in chiromancy will be called a chiromancer. Okay, chiromancer is the person who practices chiromancy. Okay, now another word which you can see is chirography. Okay, two roots once again. Chiro is hand and graphy is to write. Okay, graphy is to write or graphene is to write. So chirography is not a strange word, it simply means handwriting. Okay, chiro means hand and graphy is writing, so it's once again a fancy word of saying handwriting. Okay, handwriting is chirography. Okay, then and this chirography must not be confused with our word choreography is there. Okay, so choreography is something else. So graphy is once again to write or to record, and chorus is another word from Greek language, and this also must not be confused with chiro. So chiro is something else and chorus is something else. So chorus simply means a dance or a song also, which are performed together. So now you can easily guess the meaning of choreography. So choreography is the writing or recording or managing this dance and song pattern. Okay, so these choreographers, they manage dance and song structures. They write details about that. Okay, so chirography is simply handwriting and choreography is something else. Okay, right. I think someone has joined us. No. Okay, am I audible? Someone is saying my voice is not clear today. Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Okay, then maybe check from your end, those who are having some problem in the sound.
I think network problem.
Yeah, network problem might be there. Okay, coming back to our slide, graphy. Okay, so this is very important root. You have hundreds of words in English language and it is to write. Okay, somebody is texting once again. Okay, right, someone has joined us. Anyway, okay, we come back to our root graphy or graphene, that is to write. Okay, or to record also, because writing is a form of record. Now you can recall these words, remember these words, cardiograph. Okay, so the instrument which is recording heartbeat. Chirography is the writing and choreography is the record of dancing pattern. And you have photograph also. This also has these two roots. So photograph is a record of photo or light. Okay, and phonograph is another instrument which records your sound. Okay, or sound patterns. So sound recorder is also called phonograph. Another word you have, famous word, geography. So geo is earth. Okay, and graphy is to write or a record. So a record or writing something about earth. These principles are given there in your discipline called geography. Okay, another important word, famous word is there which needs to be analyzed, biography. Okay, so bio is life and graphy is to write something about it. Okay, once again, so biography is someone's story or the story of someone's life. And now if you see here you have three roots: auto, bio and graphy. Okay, so if you are writing your biography with on your own, then it's called autobiography. If someone else is writing your history or your life story, then that is simply a biography. Okay, so this small distinction is there between biography and autobiography. Okay, now this y should be removed. Autograph, as you know, is your signature or something which you write with your own hand is called your autograph. Okay, so here also you have two. Auto means self. Okay, and graphy is to write. Okay, so many words are there with the help of this root graphy. Okay, and this will somehow relate to write or to record. Okay, now two more important roots are given there in your book. One root is caco, not cacoa. This a should not be there. And callow. Okay, and this simply means, callow means beauty and caco means ugly or harsh or bad. Now how to remember this? There are two, it is based on two Greek gods or goddesses. Now one which you can see here is a cacodemon. This person or this demon is called cacodemon. Okay, so Greek people or in Greek mythology you have this cacodemon. So this is something bad. Okay, and on the other hand you have Callisto. Okay, so this is the image of Callisto from Greek mythology, and Callisto represents beauty. Okay, so wherever these words you have in English language, they will say something about goodness or beauty or about the badness or harsh things. Okay, so Callisto is simply the Greek goddess of beauty or representing beauty. Now there is one word which is calligraphy. Now you can guess the meaning of this word, because graphy, as we saw earlier, graphy is to write and calli is beauty. Okay, this one, calli is beauty. So calligraphy literally means a beautiful writing, as you can see here. So whenever things are written in any language, it can be in English language, it can be in Chinese, Arabic or Sanskrit even. Okay, so when they are written in a beautiful and stylish way, that is called a calligraphy. Okay, with a lot of decoration, that is called calligraphy. And calligraphy is a full grown practice also. Okay, people do calligraphy or people are expert in calligraphy and they teach calligraphy to other people. Okay, so calligraphy is the practice of writing any script in a beautiful way, that is called calligraphy. Okay, now another word is there, cacophony. Okay, This word is called cacophony, and two roots are here once again, caco and phony. Phony is related to sound and caco is bad or harsh. Okay, harsh, which is not soothing to your ears. Okay, so cacophony is a sound which is unpleasant to your ears. Okay, so caco. In fact, this caco somehow resembles with Hindi or Sanskrit word which is there called karkash. Okay, few sounds are there or few syllables are there which have karkash nature. Okay, they are unpleasant or they are harsh or they pierce your ear. So those sounds are also called cacophonous sound, and a speech can also be cacophonous speech. Somebody or some people are there who speak in a cacophonous way. Okay, their overall voice is very karkash. So this is also an important mnemonic which you can use in remembering this word. Cacophony is a harsh sound. Okay, now one word is here, Callipygian, and I was looking in the book which we are discussing. So in the previous editions this word has been there, but in the new editions I think this word is missing. So even then I have written this, you might come across this. So Cali is beauty, okay, from this callow, and Pigeon means your hips are called pigeon or pidge. Okay, so somebody who is having well structured or beautiful hips, that is called a callipygian. Okay, so it's a person, callipygian. If you say to somebody that he or she is callipygian, then he or she is having nice or very well formed hips. Okay, so callipygian, right? Okay, this root once again comes in our chapter psyche, which is mind, and last time also we had some problem or confusion with the word psyche, and another was nerve. Okay, nervous. So nervous or nerve is simply one part of your nervous system, that is nus, your nerves. Okay, and psyche means mind. Okay, so it's something else. Okay, so two things are different. With the help of psyche we had words like psychology, which is the study of mind. In another way this word is used like psychic powers. Okay, so when you say that somebody is having psychic powers, so those people have supernatural powers. Okay, so many religious people, they claim that they have supernatural powers, like they can see the future of somebody, they can see the past of somebody. Okay, they can know what is going on in the minds of other people. So these are supernormal abilities and they are also called psychic powers. Okay, so psychic powers. And psychopath we had discussed. Let us discuss this word once again. Psychopath is a criminal. Okay, once again, so he has problem with his mind, and this is a special kind of criminal who repeatedly commits some crime. Okay, like serial killers. Okay, so they are once again a liability to the society. Okay, they are problem in the society. Now two new words which we have concerned with psyche are psychosomatic and psychogenic. Now psychosomatic, okay, two roots are here, psycho and somatic. So psyche or psycho means mind and somatic means body. Okay, So now this is a technical word but probably easy to understand. When you say that something is psychosomatic, then it is concerned with both the aspects of our body. Okay, so body ka matlab we mind also. Okay, so something is psychosomatic, that is it is maybe affecting our mind also or maybe affecting our body also. So people or scientists have uh, come across or come with this word which explains both the aspects of our life or body. So body is not simply body, but it is also mind. Okay, and mind is not simply mind but also body. So our body is there. So in fact body is a wrong word. When we say our body, it also means our mind. Okay, so when we look at, let's say, our hand. Okay, so hand is not just body, it's also mind. Okay, because some nerves are there which are connected to brain. Okay, so our body or our physiology is said to have or said to be psychosomatic. In every part of our body there are some elements of body and there are hidden elements of mind also. Okay, so they are quite intertwined, and to express this idea we say that it is psychosomatic. Okay, so there can be psychosomatic diseases also. Okay, so diseases which affect both the part of our existence, body also and mind also. Okay, so psychosomatic. Another word is there, psychogenic. Okay, psycho is mind and genic is important root which we will discuss in great detail, but genic is to give birth or related to or with the origin. So psychogenic, something can be psychogenic if it is originated from mind. Okay, it can be a disease also. Or let's take this example, if you say that a particular disease is a psychogenic disease, okay, then this disease has its origin in mind. Okay, let's say that there is a special kind of cancer which first appears in your mind or in your brain, and then it spreads to other part of body also. So what we will call that cancer, psychogenic cancer or psychogenic cell. So anything which is generated from mind is called psychogenic. You can have psychogenic problems also. You can have psychogenic illusory diseases also. Like some people might have some problem which are not there actually, but they think that it's there. So we say that it is merely or it is only psychogenic in nature. Okay, or it has come from your mind, not from actuality. Okay, so this way also we can use this word psychogenic. Okay, now very important root is gen, which we just discussed. So gen is to give birth or concerned with birth. So different related ideas will be there, and in fact it is easy to remember also because we have Hindi or Sanskrit word here, janm. Okay, so it also comes from gen. Okay, so see how fascinating this root is. We have discussed Jini, which means a woman. So woman is also coming from this primary root which is Jan. Okay, Jan. So woman is called Jin because the woman gives birth, okay, to human beings. Okay, other related words are there like gender. Okay, gender is our sex, either male or female or a combination of both. So gender, here also you see this root is there, gen. Okay, we have words like genes, okay, and genetic or genes and DNA, all those things you might be very well aware of those things. So they also come from the same root, gen. Okay, so genes are genes because they are somehow responsible, or they play a great role in giving birth to somebody. Okay, or from birth characters are transmitted to other people or to the offspring through genes. Okay, genetics, something can be genetic or concerned with genes. Now genetic is something which is concerned with genes, and the study of genes is called genetics. Okay, so this difference is there, S is there. Genetics means study of genes, and genetics simply means related to genes, like genetic problem or genetic structure. Okay, but genetics is the study of genes. Okay, another word is there, genesis. Genesis का literal meaning है origin or concerned with origin or beginning. Now there is a famous chapter in Bible, supposedly first chapter, okay, old Bible, which is termed as Genesis. If you can see here, इसका नाम ही Genesis है. Now why it is Genesis? Because in the first chapter there is a description of how the universe started or how the universe began. Okay, so that is why it is called, this chapter is called Genesis. Okay, because it is concerned with the origin or beginning of the universe. In fact, in many scriptures or in most of the scriptures, when you read them, so first chapter will always be, or generally it will be about the creation or the origin of the universe. Okay, so if you read different Puranas also, so there also in the beginning or in the first chapter you have certain stories about how the universe began. Okay, so that particular story or narrative or description is called Genesis. Okay, now you have this word gentle also. So gentle simply means something which is very soft, and now you can guess the root and how the meaning has come. So if something is born, okay, let's say a newborn baby is there, so newborn baby's skin is very soft. Okay, so you can call that baby a gentle, or the baby having the gentle skin. A newly bloomed flower is there, okay, that is also gentle. So all the new things which are born or fresh things are gentle, pure and gentle. Okay, we have this word also generate, that is to produce. Okay, and we have this word generator also. Okay, so generator which we have that produces electricity. Okay, that is why generator. Okay, generation is there, the noun, and in fact all the, you know, your previous ancestors, and from one generation to another you use this word in that particular way, generation. Okay, so here also you have this root gen, है ना? Birth or origin or all those things. Okay, one important word is there which is a bit confusing also, it can be genealogy. Okay, genealogy. And first thing is that you must remember it is not genetics. Genetics is the study of genes. Genealogy is not the study of genes. Okay, but what is it? So genealogy is the study of family tree. Okay, so what is a family tree? So it is a graphical representation of our parents and grandparents and their spouses and their children. So all the family structure when we make. So this study or this process is called genealogy. Okay, and this we generally do with famous people. Okay, historians, they try to trace the genealogy of famous people. Okay, and in fact if you come to Allahabad, and there is this Anand Bhavan, which is concerned with our, which is related to our first Prime Minister, Pandit Nehru, and In one of the rooms there, you have a big chart. Okay, a very big chart is there. Almost it occupies half of the wall there. And there you have a genealogical poster there. Okay, a poster is there which describes the genealogy of this person. Okay, so it is something like that. इस तरह से बहुत बड़ा एक स्ट्रक्चर बना हुआ है. There all the, you know, all his parents, grandparents, sisters, wives, children and their children, they are explained. Okay, so this detailed structure of anybody is called genealogy. Okay, so genealogy is the structure or study of family tree, and once again it is not genetics. Genetics is the study of genes, genealogy is something else. Okay, so this was our very important root, gen, which is to give birth or janma, right? Now in your book, 3 types of dentist are given there, and we get some important roots from this portion also. So first, let us talk about these roots or these prefixes. Prefix 1, prefix 2 and prefix 3. Indo, exo and peri. Okay, so Indo will denote something which is inside, and exo will denote something which is outside, and peri will denote something which is on the border. Okay, peri is on the border. So you have border, and something can be inside the border and something can be outside the border. Okay, on the outer side, right? So once again, to remember this word, we have this Hindi or Sanskrit word which is called paridhi. Okay, so paridhi also comes from, or this peri comes from the same root, which is the border of something. Okay, paridhi of a circle is this. Okay, something like that. Paridhi of a ground could be like this. Okay, what you call perimeter. Okay, so based on 3 roots, just one example is given in your book: endodontist, exodontist and periodontist. So these are 3 types of dentists. One is endodontist. Okay, so endo means in. So the one who will be concerned about the inner part of the teeth, that will be endodontist. So these are a specialist. Okay, now refined specialist. So inside part, endodontist. Some dentists are there who specialize or who have dexterity in dealing with the outer side of the teeth. Let's say this part. Okay, this enamel, outer part. Okay, now there are some dentists who are called periodontist. Now perio root you can see, and dontist. So periodontist will be concerned about the border of the teeth, and border of teeth here means gums. Okay, so your gum, this particular part is called gum, and so periodontist is simply a gum specialist. Okay, so this example is given there, but important thing to be remembered is these 3 prefixes: indo, exo and peri. Okay, peri, from peri you have things like perimeter. Okay, so peri is the boundary and meter is the measurement. Okay, so perimeter of this structure is the length of these 4 sides. Okay, perimeter, that is why. Okay, and indo and exo we will so many times come across many examples which will use indo and exo. Okay, right. So in fact we have to discuss this word meter once again. Now meter or metron is very important root, and this means measurement. Okay, so as you see in perimeter, so perimeter is the measurement of boundary of something. Okay, now this comes in many different words and devices which are there, and you are all probably familiar with them. So they all contain metron or meter, and in fact the very crude root is simply ma. Okay, और भी basic root जो है वो ma है, and which is to measure. In fact in Hindi or Sanskrit also we have this map. Okay, map is to measure. Okay, so this way you can remember this root also. So very common things like thermometer, okay, that which measures the heat of the body or the temperature of the body is thermometer. Barometer, I think it measures the atmospheric pressure. Okay, barometer. Sphygmomanometer is another long term, but it's very common, and this particular thing is called sphygmomanometer. Okay, so it measures your blood pressure. Sphygmo का मतलब होता है pulse. Okay, and mano is like hand and meter is measurement. So with the help of your hand you can operate this instrument, and with this you measure the pulse rate or heartbeat or blood pressure, in fact technically, of a person. This is sphygmomanometer. Sphygmomanometer. Okay, geometry you have. Okay, so geo is earth and metry or metron is measurement. So in geometry you will have the measurement of earth surfaces. Okay, different surfaces like triangle, circle, rectangle, and so many other things. It's called geometry because in the beginning, in the antiquity, in the old times, this discipline was applied just to measure or just for the measurement of different land. Okay, now we use geometry in different things, but earlier this was used only in the measurement of land. Okay, कितना land किसको मिलेगा, how to divide it, how to take the various measurement of different pieces of land. Okay, so that is why it's called geometry. Okay, one term is pedometer, and if you see carefully, once again two familiar roots are there. Pedo is foot and meter is measurement. So pedometer measures your number of steps taken. Okay, so in fact these days we have so many smart watches and they have pedometer. Okay, and when you turn them on, and it will give you how many steps you have taken, okay, with your feet. So pedometer measures your feet movement or steps. Okay, now three important terms are there, and might be confusing also, but easy to remember, which are commonly found in your cars. Okay, so one is speedometer. Now this particular one is a speedometer because this is measuring your speed. Okay, and one is called tachometer. Now this one is called tachometer. So this particular one on the left hand side measures the rounds of your wheel, okay, in terms of thousands. Okay, how many times the wheels are turning. Okay, so this is tachometer, it's called tachometer. Okay, another important one is this odometer. Okay, so odometer measures your distance. Okay, how much miles or how many kilometers you have, how many miles you have traveled with your car. So that is called odometer. Okay, it comes from odo and meter. And that odo is also coming from some similar roots. ओडो का मतलब होता है रोड, ओके, और द वे, रास्ता. In fact, so this road word also comes from this root odo. Okay, so odometer is measuring how much way you have covered, okay, in terms of kilometers or miles. Okay, so these three things are there. So the basic point is that whenever you come across metron or meter, it is concerned with some kind of measurement, and more probably or generally it is always a device. Okay, so all these different things are certain devices or instrument to measure something. Okay, so we are just to finish now. One root was there, geron. Previously we had talked about, so this was a Greek root and both of them mean old. So geron also means old, and there is another root which we have to learn now. This comes from Latin language, senex. Now senex and geron, both of them mean old. Okay, earlier we had talked about gerontology, geriatrician, all those things, and now we are not talking about that but about this senex. Senex is a Latin word which means the same as we mean by geron, and both of them mean old. Okay, अब देखिए बहुत सारे words are there which you might come across, and especially in law. Okay, senior and in normal English language also, senior is somebody who is old, and it's coming from the same root, senex. Okay, senate. So the way we have MPs or MLAs, many other countries, or in fact ancient countries, they used to had, and some modern countries still like US, they have Senate. Okay, so Senate is a place, so this distinction is there, and senator is the person who sits in the Senate. So senator could be simply something like MP or MLA. Okay, and why they are senate called senator? Because they are old people and they are very wise and they are very intelligent. Of course, now we can have an MP or MLA who is young also, but in the old times, especially in Greek time, senator was always an old person. Okay, क्योंकि old को ही wise समझा जाता था, बुद्धिमान समझा जाता था, और जो place है उसको कहते हैं senate, है ना, जिसको हम पार्लियामेंट कहते हैं. Such kind of place is called senate. Okay, so senate and senator, they both come from the same root, senex or old. Okay, one word is there, senile. Okay, on senile adjective hai, so you will say like you are very senile or that person is very senile. Okay, so senile is a negative word. Okay, so somebody is turning old, and due to his old age he is having some, let's say, mental problems also, and forgetfulness also, and all the things are weakening day by day. Okay, and in a negative sense we call that person, you are growing senile. Okay, you are growing senile or you are becoming senile. In fact, we say in Hindi language something like sethiya jana. Okay, so somebody becomes old and demonstrates or reflects some kind of crazy behavior, so we call those person, he has become senile. Okay, so use this word carefully because this is a negative word. Okay, senile. Okay, so the last root that we discussed today is sense or scent. Okay, now this is a suffix generally, so that is why this sign is there. So if this sign comes before, then you can understand that this is a suffix, something is before this suffix always. Okay, now what is the meaning of this scent or sense? Okay, so that which is becoming, okay, होता हुआ के सेंस में करते हैं. ओके, दैट विच इज बिकमिंग दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग, और we will get to know what is before that word. Okay, before that. So कोई भी x y z यहाँ लग जाएगा तो वैसा होता हुआ is called or will be called with the help of that suffix. Okay, so let us take certain examples that will make things clear. Okay, let us consider first this word adolescence. Okay, तो adolescence का मतलब होता है adult होता हुआ. Okay, adult root is there. Okay, let's say adult is somebody who is or who has achieved the age of 18. Okay, लेकिन जो 13, 14, 15, 16 ये होंगे इनको भी हम कहेंगे adolescent. Okay, the people will be called adolescent and the process or the noun is adolescence, like they are or these people are in the age of adolescence and they themselves are adolescent. So these people are becoming adult. Okay, that is why adult becoming or they are growing adult. Okay, so just the other side of the life or the coin is senescence, or the person will be called senescent. Okay, so senescent, as you remember, senes is coming from senex, which is old, and this suffix is there sense, होता हुआ, तो बुढ़े होते हुए लोगों को कहेंगे senescence. ये जस्ट इसका अपोजिट है. एक लाइफ का फेज होता है एडोलसेंस का और एक फेज होता है सेनेसेंस का. ओके, बीच में मिड लाइफ होती है. मिड लाइफ, एडोलसेंस एंड सेनेसेंस. ओके, तो दिस इज कॉल्ड सेनेसेंस, तो ओल्ड होता हुआ. ओके, growing old, and this is growing adult. Okay, now two another important words are there, ascent and descent. Now ascent means up, d is some kind of demotion or negative word or it's going down, so d का मतलब हो गया down and s का मतलब हो गया up, and or simply a can mean up. So sent and sent means hota hua. So if something is rising, we call that thing as ascent. Like in history you will find ascent of civilizations. Okay, ascent of an empire. Okay, ascent of a political party. So that party or political party is rising. So if something rises, that is called ascent or its ascent. The opposite of ascent is descent. Okay, not descent, descent. Okay, so descent is going down. एक दूसरा word है decent, which means very simple, very clear and very well mannered. वो दूसरा है. So this one is descent. So descent is coming down. So once again there can be descent of a civilization. So ascent and descent simply means rise and fall. So descent, if you look at these words or this word with the help of these suffixes, तो नीचे जाता हुआ. Okay, that which is going down. Ascent is that which is going up. Okay, next word is obsolescent. Here also we have these two or this suffix sent and obsole. Okay, तो obsole का मतलब होता है पुराना. Okay, old in the sense very archaic. Okay, जो पुराना होता जाता है उसको obsolete कहते हैं, obsolescent कहते हैं. Okay, like a building if say is becoming obsolescent, so it is becoming old. A structure or a pattern or a method, anything can be obsolescent. Okay, something which is becoming old. Any practice also can become obsolescent. Okay, so things which are growing old, they are also called obsolescent. Okay, because they are becoming or they are growing old. Okay, with the help of this suffix we get that meaning. Now one important or very interesting word is there, phosphorescence. लिटरल मीनिंग क्या हुआ कि फॉस्फोरस बढ़ता जा रहा है. ओके, phosphorus is growing or becoming. So it is an event which happens in many things, and especially we use this now with the help of our water bodies, oceans or beaches. So if you see here on the beaches, when there is the high quantity or when there is growth of phosphorus, then it starts glowing in night. Okay, so this process is also called phosphorescence. Okay, so many people come or many people go to beaches at night to see the phosphorescence. Okay, जहाँ कहीं भी हो जाता है. So this process is called phosphorescence. Okay, so this is interesting, but the point I want to make is that wherever you find this sense, okay, SCENCE, so immediately see what is before that. Okay, and you can guess the meaning that this particular thing is rising, okay, or growing or becoming. Okay, so phosphorescence in that sense. Okay, so with this we cover our sessions, I guess. Yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10 we have covered, and now I hope you can easily solve the exercises which are given there in 7, 8, 9, 10. So some of the words will be from the previous chapters and some of are new also. Almost all the new words I have discussed, and I have given you so many extra words also which may not be there in the book, but nevertheless you need to know about them for general interest and for a better understanding of English language. Okay, so